Well, it's loading. There you go. I was talking just before we started with Alexi. Well, it's loading very well. All right. And the jump between spiritual calls to DAOs is so exciting, right? Go ahead, Alex. For those of you who just joined because they see the recording from the community, I just gave an introduction and asked everybody not really well, you can say what you think about it, but do you want to help? And if so, how can you help? And then let's just make it. Like, why do we keep talking about whether we should do it or not? Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Loic, and nice to see everybody. I am interested in helping. I find this topic very interesting. And I guess I have a question is, should the DAO have a purpose for the external world, or is everything in the DAO within the community members? In other words, is there a purpose for the DAO, the world, charity, some kind of good, or a business, or is it all internal focused?
I don't have all the answers, but I think we should go by the way I like to see things being built is step by step. And so Joey, for example, we have a Discord, right? We have a community. I would say the most difficult we have as you know, Alex, it took 1.5 years for this community to appear, and thank you all for being in it. But now, so Joey has the 3 tools I put on my newsletter, the work especially, and the voting system. So if you're not aware of how it works, very simple. We decide on something we should be doing. We put them on the voting thing. They call it governance, and then members vote. And then now Joey is already at the step further, which is he has a token, not traded, just inside. And then he has now physical places. So they are opening a bar and a workplace in Tokyo, only for those who have the token. So imagine we would have a PAWA like a nice office or whatever in Paris, or a nice bar, and you can pay with tokens. So I think yes, ideally it will be traded one day. So those who contribute can also make money. I mean, I think it's important. It's great, but it raises a lot of questions. So I think this is more like the next 12 months question, but yes. Yes, Alex, great.
Hi, Loic. Hi, everyone. I'm new here. I'm working with Ronnie Poto, who is a member of your community, and he told me about this call. And the reason I'm here is that I am one of the co-founder of IFA DAO, and we've created the technology to create DAOs, for organizations and movements like yours. So I was really interested to join tonight just to share on our experience and on how we can potentially let you use this technology and how you can benefit from this technology for the DAO you want to create. So just as an invitation here, and happy to answer to all questions around the DAO and how it's working. Our approach is quite specific in the sense that we are putting the human in the center of the technology. So we call our DAO the DHO, the Decentralized Human Organization. And the way we've created it is by mimicking nature and making sure that we are taking into account all these, mechanisms and balance effects, in nature, and we apply that into new ways of human coordination. We've been working on the technology for the last 4 years, and we are now ready, to go to market, as we say, and to have a lot of groups like yours and organizations benefiting from what we've built. So happy to be here and happy to answer to all questions if relevant.
This is cool, Alex. I suggest, thank you very much. That is cool. And where are you based? In Paris or?
I am based in Amsterdam, but I'm French. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being French. Who else would like? Yeah, Fabrice.
Yes, I think so. I'm working in the crypto area and on blockchain since 7 years now, and I've also invested in some startup in DeFi extra. So we are talking about maybe two different things, and we can start by the simplest one, and after the other one. We are talking about token, and token are representing something, and the DAO or DHO, which is more about governance, and we can use token without DAO, and also DAO maybe without tokens, even if often both are going together. And to my experience and also to my understanding, it's more simple to start with token and after to go with DAO, because then you have to define the governance rules, etc., etc. But to start,
wait, Fabrice, if we start with a token,
yes.
then how do people build reputation? You kind of need a market for it, right? It's like I can provide really cool healings with really nice feathers.
Yes.
Oh, it's blurred, so you can are like huge. So I offer this, and I say this is going to be 50 tokens. But like, where do you put the marketplace if you don't have a DWork or something like that going on?
So if you want a decentralized marketplace, you have to use smart contracts to represent offers and demands. But here again, it can be a marketplace without being a DAO. After, DAO is also a marketing term. I don't think we have a formal definition of DAO exactly that, and not that. Sometimes we talk about DAO, some other time we talk about marketplace. I agree with you. If you have token, you need a marketplace. That can be decentralized or not, the marketplace itself. It's better if it's decentralized.
How fast does it take? How long does it take to make a token? I know nothing about creating a token. It takes 2 minutes, zero.
Right. Zero, but it takes some minutes because you have minutes. Tools. Yes, you have tools. If you have a standard token ERC20, which is a standard at least of Ethereum blockchain, and you have tools to create from scratch a new token. After, you have to distribute it. You have to develop what they call the DApp, decentralized application, to interact with blockchain. And between your wallet and the blockchain, you have to develop an application. But if you use standard tools, it can take a few hours, let's say, because.
And can someone, maybe someone else, by the way, participate, please, all the crypto experts that we have here, Web3 experts, thank you. How do you do the tokenomics? So like, how do you decide if there is 1,000, 1 million, 10 million tokens? What I know nothing about. Do you have links you could share about this? Or tell me how should we do it? And anyone else? Max, you seem to be an expert. I like your jacket so much.
I'm an expert. Hi, everyone. I'm not an expert. I just like working in this environment for at least like 2 years, and I'm really passionate about it. Well, the tokenomics is really something we should consider maybe after the whole process of deciding whether we should interact with newcomers or what are the objective of the DAO. So I think the really thing that is important is to define the objective first, to see what might be the owners, where we want to go, what could be the objective, and then we can define tokenomics, the way, the tools, the everything. I guess the best thing is to start gently. So start with I don't know, maybe an NFT, or start with a pool of tokens, and then maybe iterate and try to find, let's say, a more decentralized tools. But I really consider like using, like Fabrice said, some smart contract where you can deploy some tokens, attribute tokens to people that contributed or help or provide any courses.
But how do you do that? I'm sorry. So actually, let's take a very simple case. Simple. Yeah. By the way, for those of you who are not in our Discord, I put an invite at the top of the Zoom chat. please join us. It's closed, but it has exceptions. So if you're here, you're invited. So wait. So here is the example. Very simple. We have channels on Discord. Like, for example, there is a channel on addictions. Someone is it Max? I forgot. Is in charge of is the guardian, we call him, of that channel because he contributed a lot. So of course we would like to reward those who are guardians because they helped already. How do you decide? So how would I do that? Just that.
Like, for example, let's say we have 3 guardians. Let's say that we want to reward them a certain amount of token. Let's say we put, I don't know, like 1 million token, like we will issue 1 million token. Let's say that a guardian is, I don't know, like 4 times more effective than a worker. Let's say like this. So we can attribute 4 times more tokens to the guardian, and then we can, I don't know, like make a instant payment every month to the guardian. So like send a certain amount of token to the guardian.
So it's a salary for working in the community.
Yeah, it could be a salary. It could be a salary. It could be a bounty. So I believe you share a nice tool where you can define tasks, which is token gated. So we can define tasks and everything. So we can either do this as a salary or as a bounty or as a shared treasury. For example, like 3 people that work on an important task for December, they can share a third of the treasury, for example. So
what's a bounty? What's a bounty? Like it's me in a book, or what is it?
Yeah, it's like bounty is like we have this problem, we can't solve it, we can't really find a way to do it.
Synonymous with someone project. Sorry, Max, to interrupt, just to help, just with the communication is very important. So bounty's been used a lot in the security community for hackers to find issues, and they have bounties that they win. So this has become a popular term now, and it's a project. It's a project with a reward. Sorry, Max, I think it's better to confuse. I'll have stuff to say, but I'll wait for my turn.
But this is like I was going to be frustrated, but I have an hour, so we'll keep it in an hour. But let's do more. I had no idea this would be so exciting. It's even more each time you say something. So, but let's say now, pretend that I don't understand anything about this. I come to the PAWA Discord, and I have these things like telling me, oh, there are tokens. Like, why would I? What's the pitch to a newcomer that doesn't understand Web3? Like, why would I give time against tokens that are not tradable against euro or dollar? How can help me sell this? I have answers to that, but I'm sure you do better.
I can answer to that, but if anyone has a better answer, I want to, contribute. I'm okay with that, of course. I'll take that answer. So I believe we do not maybe want to go in this token direction. The meaning is that people should not learn about token or blockchain when they arrive in the Discord. People should learn about the roles, the work, the contribution if you make a task, something like this. Because otherwise they will be maybe disoriented, or they will lose or lost the objective. So I believe there is a system of reward and roles that we can share, and we can make people understand this. And we can explain token as a system of points. And as for example, if you got 10 points, then you can claim this role, or you can join this channel. So every channel in the Discord can be token gated. So for example, we can say like, okay, we have more than 20 tokens, then you can join this channel. And this channel can be a guardian channels or a meditation channels, which is token gated, and only for members that have contributed enough to get to get the ability to get to this channel. So there is many different ways to do it, but I believe, and in watching this PAWA community, which is super interesting, that people we don't want to mess with blockchain and everything, because sometimes some people might be disoriented, and we need to make sure that the objective is unite people with PAWA. And blockchain is something, just a tool. We don't want to maybe disoriented them, and
How do you show reputation? And by the way, Max, thank you so much. If someone else wants to, we have a lot of experts here. I'm so grateful. How do you show reputation? Let's say Alex, which is the case, has been since the community for a year and a half. Like, I think the minute we started it, Alex was here, right? And it was him and me, basically, something like that. But anyway, so time has been in the community and also so much work, right, to help on everything. How do you show it? Because Discord doesn't show any of that. Like in the video game, you can see the points. In D-Work, I saw you can show things. But in Discord, can you show reputation? Anyone?
I don't know, but I do want to jump in with another thought, Loic. So we've seen many, many different web communities emerge. They've used a variety of techniques to energize their communities, to make them active, to make them productive, normally specifically for the benefit of the founder. Now, I'm not saying that's your case here, but I think there's another couple of aspects that really need to work in parallel with this. Alex, please, I hope you believe the same. Almost it's like a concept of ethics and guardrails. So while these exciting ideas are being explored, it's not new. A marketplace isn't new. Exchanging things for fair value is not new. So a lot of the stuff that we see, the new stuff, is based on very old thinking. Etienne Wenger, the link I shared with you, Loic, he did a lot around new kind of currencies and the idea of community currencies, and there's a lot of research on that. I think that could be valuable as well. But in order to have a successful start, having a clear understanding of that with some guardrails about what shouldn't happen. So gamification is an interesting concept where people get points makes prizes, and then you can misincentivize people if you don't have the right ethical structure in place. So I think it's very important to consider that. That's maybe where I can add value, just from my experiences for over many years interacting with and seeing communities. But I just want to say that while we're getting into the thick of the tech and ideas. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. I fully agree, especially, and I'll say it right there. PAWA has now a business, which is a conference, which barely broke even or actually lost money. So it's not like I have so much profit to share. I wish I could share my losses right now, but it's a very important thing to talk about. I agree. My idea behind this is to really enable an economy that every member of this can benefit from. But I know nothing about what you're talking about. But ethics and transparency, yes. I believe the way I'm thinking about it, so people know right now, is that we have two structures. One is for the conference business, and this is going to be run separately. And one will be for that, which is more like a community-driven thing. That's my idea. But yes, I would like to learn everything about it. I don't remember where you sent me that link. Could you put it in the chat, maybe?
Yeah, sure. It was in the PAWA Discord. I'll grab the links now.
Oh, in the Discord. Yeah, that's the problem with the Zoom chat, is that it goes away. So we need to make sure we don't close. Cathy, you wanted to say something. Hi.
Yeah, hi. I'm not in PAWA, but I've been a fan since like 2 days before the conference. I'm a financial advisor, and I'm really interested in this from the investment side. And I love to unpack that word, investing, anyway. And like, I think that the opportunity with DAOs is it monetizes or brings something to share in the token of something that hasn't been able to be quantified in value before. So like investing your time, like our time is our actually most important asset. So I want to know, is this worth my time to be a part of this community? And I will also say diversity, like women, you're happy women are here. Well, women are known to be more risk averse when it comes to investing. So I think that's another thing to be clear is, what are the risks in this and why should I do this? And I don't have a lot of time to be on Discord and this server and research this thing. So make this accessible to me. So like, can you make this on Instagram or like a platform where we're already convening, because I don't want to go to Discord, and you already just spoke to, you couldn't find the link in Discord. So it's like, is that really efficient? So just throwing out these things.
You don't want to go to Discord.
Well, it's like, I'm not already on Discord. Like Discord was like created for gamers, and like,
I know.
And I don't even like, whenever I go on those chat things, I'm like, oh my God, there's like teenage boys like saying things to each other here. And it's just like not a space I would usually find myself in.
No, but I know if you have anything better, Facebook just launched communities and stuff. It's there because I chose Discord for two reasons. One is the connection to crypto, because I thought Web3 one day will do something about it. And two, apart from using Slack, which would be super expensive with a community like that, I don't know where we could use.
Yeah, and I recognize that there's something called Geneva that like I find more women-oriented ones are doing, but I think that it's just apparent that like that's a barrier to this already. It's like the platform itself, and the fact that it's already so entrenched on Discord is like, I think, representative of the community that it's previously been. And as we want to open this up to more, like how—
Wait. Are you saying we're all geeks and men? Because if that's what you think, you're wrong.
I know. Okay, no.
You're wrong. You're completely wrong. It's actually a community that doesn't talk about geek stuff much. The Web3 is this is the first call or maybe the second. But everything we talk about is consciousness, spirituality, self-improvement. Don't assume too much. Just saying.
Yeah. And you're right, because like I totally said I'm not a part of the community yet, but I just joined the server today. All right. So
diversity is key, Katie. So it's good that you have your perspective.
Elsa, can you say a word about our women's group and invite Katie?
Yes, of course. So we started 2 months ago a women's circle every week on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. CET time, so 12 p.m. Eastern time, as a way to really activate the women's community and just, support each other in our growth journey. We're now around, I think, 80 women, and we're trying to diverse the format from sharing circles to sharing each other's expertises and gifts and skills around different topics, supporting each other in our, personal projects, but also professional projects. So yeah, please join. Would love to have you there.
Thank you, Elsa. Yeah. That was I just wanted, balance. We're not geeks talking about geek stuff in there. We're actually not.
Well, and anyway, I'm also a geek too. I like that, but most women aren't.
I got it, Cativo. Even my friends who are not tech savvy are like, why do you use this thing called Discord that sucks so bad? So I agree with you. I just wanted you to know it's very diverse, actually. Who else would like to talk or say something, offer something?
Yeah, I would like to offer a perspective on the DAO. You asked the question of why and how would you explain the rationale to go into a DAO. And I think what has been said is right, meaning that the value of a collective effort like your group is not easily acknowledged, without a DAO. What a DAO does is that it recognizes all forms of capital and everything that is put on the table for the benefit of the community. So every time somebody spends time or puts on the table a certain skill or, some assets that become an asset for the community, what a DAO does is that it acknowledges that and it records it onto the blockchain as a source of truth, And what is beautiful with the DAO is that collectively all this value is accumulated and shared amongst the members. And the value itself, the token itself, finds its utility within the community. And you asked the question earlier, also, outside of the boundaries of the communities, as the utility of the token expands. So I think the first idea of a DAO is that the value is recognized. And the second aspect is that it's an agreement machine. You know, it's a place where all the decisions within the group can be made really easily based on the level of contribution of each member. So if you contribute a lot, your voice, the weight you have in the voice is high. If you contribute a little, you have voice, but less than somebody who is really committed and contributing a lot of their time. So that creates a balance, if you like, for agreements to be made amongst the different members with equity and diversity and inclusion. So yeah, I wanted to offer this perspective.
No, this is a really good perspective. Ion, do I pronounce well? Is that what? Please. I probably pronounced wrong. Ion.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ion is great. Don't worry. I just wanted to rebound, or I don't know how to say in English, because we talk a lot about the technology, but there is I think it was Max that talked about like to define the objectives and I feel that's really important to address to talk about the goals, the mission, and the values we have, and at the same time with the tech. So just wanted to highlight that point at the same time.
I agree, and we want to do it for PAWA anyway, because even the conference, for those of you who didn't come, it's been trying to do something impossible. But all the new technologies, business and spiritual, you know, if you think about business, is all about fast, deliver, execute, get feedback, execute again. Spiritual, slow, no feedback, inside. So try to put both together and it worked because people are interested in it. So I think it's the same here, and we would like to say those values. So you're absolutely right. We'll work on that. Anyone else? Jacques, you need to unmute.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, hi. Well, hi everybody. I'm very new to PAWA. I met PAWA at the Paris meeting. I was really enthusiastic about it, and I joined here to say hello and attend my first weekly and learn about Web3 and DAOs, because I don't have this culture and really interested to learn about it. So I'm just listening and learning. And yeah, I definitely would like to contribute at some point. I think there is a topic I can share, because I have an activity. I have been really active in, bridging ancient wisdom of humanity, wherever it comes from, whatever culture it comes from, and the description of the world of quantum physicists. So because we can really build bridges with this, and I think it's perfectly aligned with PAWA's intention. At least that's why I understand. And yeah, I would really, at some point, there is no hurry. This is not my job, it's my activity. I do run workshops from time to time, and I'm happy to contribute with this if it makes sense.
Thank you, Jacques. Yes, we're we take everybody.
I have a link for you, Jacques. It's funny you mentioned quantum physics. I was dealing with something on climate change. Let me post it into the Zoom meet. Have a peek at that. That'll interest you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Does anyone know if we can save the chat of Zoom? Because my concern with Zoom is each time we close the Zoom, then the chat is gone. Is there any way to save the links in there?
Yes, there is. Just at the bottom, you have enregistrer la discussion. It's in French on my.
Fake chat. Perfect. Great.
Yes,
thank you. Yes, David.
Hi, I just want to introduce myself. I didn't go to your conference last month, but I have some friends who did. And one thought is that maybe there are collaborative models out there that are emerging. I mean, that's the entire point of decentralization, right? And there are other communities around the world today that may be on a similar mission as PAWA, as yours. And I can just say for myself, I'm based here in the United States, but I spent over a decade in Shanghai doing angel investing. So I've seen literally thousands of startups. I do come from the business and finance world. I used to be on Wall Street many, many years ago. And one thing that I've been doing since coming back to the United States during the pandemic is we've got 85 acres of land. We've got lots of trees and nature. And we want to turn that into a center where we can raise people's consciousness through the ancient technologies of the wisdom, right? As we're discussing sacred geometry and biomimicry and mimicking nature essentially. We're looking at structures like in architecture to do that, but also meditation and qigong breath exercises. But I'm also putting this into a digital twin into the metaverse. So we actually have a prototype of our metaverse up and running. It's based on Unity. And the notion of tokens I've been thinking about for over a year now, right? Because we wanted to do our ICO back in 2018 for our fund. We have a Cayman Islands LPGP structure. And we didn't move ahead with that because of the timing, but certainly cryptos are back in a way that I think are unstoppable now. And whether we use a DAO or NFT or whatever we do, I think there's a way of collaboration is my point. And, if we can take some of the people, it's all about the people, right? The people that we get to meet and interact with and share that path, that journey together. There's a way to kind of create a common token which becomes interchangeable, which becomes the money or the energy of exchange amongst people who are on this mission to do better for this planet and help
fully
humanity.
Agree.
Right?
Fully agree, David. And there is a lot of good tokens. We had green token on stage at PAWA, and it was great. And if you look at the spaces for self-improvement and healing, there are thousands in the world. And I personally don't think, and I'll be honest, that the right approach is to try to gather them all, because it's like if you said, I don't know the comparison, but like everybody's doing, beautiful thing in Costa Rica or a beautiful thing in Africa. And first off, who would we be to say, hey, we're going to unite? No, I see where you're coming from, but I think it's much better for us to focus on this community right now. And you're part of helping, but I don't have idea of bridging the wall. And not, I think we should be a decentralized network and not try to centralize and bridge everything actually right now.
Yeah, the point is not to be centralized. The point is to share solutions and ideas, right? And I think if we can provide a platform of sharing, right, then I'm happy to help enable you based on what I know and what I've learned over the last couple of years of doing, my project. And
thank you. Yeah. No,
reciprocity,
That for sure. Please, yes.
The goal is not to centralize, so I hope you didn't
great.
understand. Yeah.
Great. No, it's perfect. Daniel, thank you, David, by the way. Nice to meet you and welcome to the community. There is a link to the Discord at the top if you want to join.
Okay.
David, that sounds super fascinating. Well, I mean, I guess, because Loic and I have been talking about the green token model. And I think it's worth, it might be interesting at some point to go through kind of even like a voting process with the community and look at different models. But the green token, could be utilized, for example, as a backend for this. And essentially it would be that people would be doing particularly environmentally beneficial or volunteer acts. They would then amass kind of like a complementary token, almost like an airline miles, which they could then use in different ways. So for instance, David, who just spoke, if he has this, retreat center, let's say somebody amasses 20,000, green tokens or PAWA tokens, that might give them a free week at David's center for some kind of retreat event or something. So that's a way that everybody who has something to offer in the community could then be sort of in a reciprocal loop. I think it's pretty interesting. Then the question would be whether this idea of it being sort of ecological or volunteer activities as kind of the sort of undergirding structure is interesting and a value for the community. That's what I was thinking. So I thought I'd throw it out there.
Thank you. Aurora?
Hello. Yes, I just wanted to comment on something that David said in regards to these types of communities. This weekend, I spent some time in Mastodon. I'm part of the Twitter exodus, and I was really surprised of the community and how welcoming they are. And they also have elders that have been part of Mastodon that are helping all of the newcomers to this platform and giving information and tutorials and links and helping even helping people create their own instances and servers. So it's all based decentralized, and it's not only Mastodon. There are different tools and platforms as well. And I've only just discovered it this weekend, but I think that their philosophy and their values are also very aligned with the type of communities that we want to build, and they have different types of communities within the Fediverse, which is another part of it, but it's all fascinating, and I think it's the future.
Yes, so let's do it. Fabrice, how do we do it? Like right now?
Yes.
What's the next thing is the voting system, no? The voting, the governance, but no, sorry. Let me repeat what I learned, and you tell me if I'm wrong. First thing, values. Define the community values, right? There is some stuff if you log into Discord, but we should revisit it. It's from a year and a half ago. I remember it's Alex who told me to do that. Thank you. 2, ethics. What can you expect, not expect? There is a conference that sells tickets. This is a community. What is it? Are you going to exploit us like a terrible CEO? All these things. I get it. 3, what's the 3?
It was governance and DAOs, I think. But maybe one very concrete thing, if we want to start quickly, it's to define on which blockchain we want to operate. Because depending on which on the blockchain, it will go on a public chain like Ethereum or even Polkadot. It's not completely free. It's not free.
There's no rush, though. We can evaluate all. We should assemble. We should aggregate. Use our community to provide insight. David Chen already has extensive experience here. He will be able to share his interests, maybe other people like Max with his knowledge, and so on and so on and so on. We should spend time making our decisions carefully and not rush.
Yes, because after it's complicated to move from one blockchain to another.
Well, that would be another priority requirement, is the ability to not be tied to one particular investment in our time, to be able to move and migrate to other technologies seamlessly.
Can you guys add, since you're talking of Fabrice, Max, the experts here, David, can you just explain why would we choose anything else than Ethereum? Sorry if it's a stupid question.
Because it can be cheaper.
Well, there's a few reasons. It's sort of the standard ones. Performance is very important. Resilience is another one. Stability, adoption, and the ability and the utility of that. David, could you chime in with some other characteristics that one applies when choosing tokens?
I think it's about community and the scale that a particular chain has established already, and it's certainly Ethereum is out there, but the jury's out, right, in terms of who's going to ultimately be the winner. And I think it's important to pick a chain that, at least from my perspective, that has values that resonates with with your own values and what it is that you want to do. So I've looked at Solana, right, or Polygon is also an up and coming chain, or Cardano. Cardano, I've heard, is not as popular, obviously, as Ethereum. But if you look at their values and their mission statement, I think it's very consistent with what we want to do in terms of doing good for the planet, right? So even though it's a more of a niche community, that doesn't mean they're not credible. And I think part of the value of community, which is what you already have here at PAWA, is that there could be multiple answers, but it all boils down to how do you move the conversation from ideas to execution, and who wants to take hold of it and actually say, well, I'm an expert in Ethereum or a particular chain, and here's exactly how we're going to do the execution to get to some traction. Think of it as project milestones that you would set out for yourself, and yes, you want to be somewhat decentralized.
If I may, I think we're building the pillars or the foundation to enable execution. Execution is still something that one would expect and assume, but it's not. It's too early to think about that. We're gathering knowledge at the moment and sharing it. Yes, we will execute on it, and of course, the ideas are nothing without execution. I think we all understand that, or some of us understand
that.
Right,
but the point I want to make is that, how do you take, in some ways, a decentralized community and make a decision? It's like, what do you do when you have some people that says, well, we want Ethereum, but other people that says we want Polygon? How do you end up making a decision on that?
David, I don't think this is going to be, so if you actually look at my post, I actually was really interested in what there was a guest offer at Andreessen Horowitz who said it should be a progressive thing, right? And I don't think everything will be decided democratically, because if we did, we would have had no event in Paris. I can tell you, and no funding for it, which we provided, and no, So I think there is a role with the community, and like what needed strong euros to pay for a venue in Paris and so on, things like that, and invite speakers. And so I don't think it's so complementary.
Sure, but I guess to Ed's question, my short answer is that pick a chain that's going to be around for the long term, and I would pick Ethereum just because it's got the most wide adoption out there, and it's utilitarian, and it's gone from proof of work to proof of stake very recently, right? And so I think Ethereum is probably a no-brainer, but if you want to be creative about it, there's certainly other chains that can be considered.
For me, it's a no-brainer. I would have not even raised that question, but since you did, you as a group, who wants to talk? We have 7 minutes left. Sorry, I'll have to end it at 7.
Sorry, on the Ethereum, another thing that's interesting is that there's almost a diversification in the marketplace. Polygon is based on Ethereum, so Ethereum actually creates, so there's a variety within the chain. So that's what I'd say. It's quite interesting as an ecosystem beyond just the coin, the coin itself.
Is there someone that is that has questions that is not a crypto? We have a lot of Web3 experts here talking tonight. Thank you for being here. Is there someone who has been around the PAWA community who has questions, who is not an expert, like me?
I just want to say that I think it's all about reassessing our goals and what we want to do. And maybe this idea of having a DAO, which seems really, really interesting, is also a way to federate people and a way to assess who we are, what we want, what kind of community we want to be, because I think you have defined that, Loic, and all of you at one point, but that was before you made this big event with PAWA in Paris. And now that there are lots of us who came aggregate, maybe it's good that we all have a discussion about that. What do you think?
Yeah. The discussion, or at least an explanation, or re-explanation, because in my mind it has not changed for a year and a half. But then there is communication and what it is, and just to remind you, it even comes from 3.5 years ago. We did a PAWA event in San Francisco that we had to cancel for COVID. So it's like it's coming. It's so yes, but yes, absolutely. Alex.
Yeah, Loic, and listening to Clara, it becomes apparent that most of the people in this call are men, like you pointed out in the beginning. And most of the people who have spoken here are men. And yet this is something we're doing for the community. And listening to Clara, it's clear to me that there needs to be feminine feminine energy involved in this as well, to make the women feel welcome and a part of this initiative as well. Otherwise, it's going to be men doing things, again, just like in the regular world, and kind of getting tired of just this male-dominated thing that's happening all the time. And I think it's important to include women in this process as we go forward.
Alex, have you? Can you keep going after 7, or do we all stop at 7? Because I made you the host in case.
Yeah, I can keep going, of course. Yes.
Okay, so at 7 I will stop. Anybody who wants to stop, please stop at 7. It's in 4 minutes. But for those of you who want to keep going, Alex is nice enough to. He's going to be the host because I have another call starting in 4 minutes. Jochen. Jochen, you have a hand.
Sorry, the one thing I'd like to suggest is to actually have a prototype. We're talking on one hand, we're talking about the technology, and the other hand, we're talking an application or problem we'd like to solve. And it seems like the general agreement is that there is some value somewhere, and maybe prototyping something to see what this actually feels like and is like for people who are not deep in the technology. What if we did it for guardians and something else, right? And just try and see what kind of hurdles one encounters in the process, and get everybody a little bit of an experience. Might be interesting as well to get the discussion closer together, or to see if this maybe doesn't even make sense for us. But I don't think that's the case, but just one thing to throw in there.
I agree, Johan. That's exactly how I would start it. This is why I dropped on my post already those tools, the work and so on. I'm not attached to any tool, but starting to show people the voting system, like here's what we, just that, right? Yeah, here's what we would like to do. What do you guys think? Just that, just a vote, and then showing the tasks. That would be a great start. Someone had a hand, but it disappeared.
I think it was me. Hi, thanks a lot. I think there's something really, really beautiful in power. Maybe we have this in the feminine group already, but I can feel it in the long sharings, that there's something that is genuinely like free sharing, free help, listening to people. There is something very beautiful in the sharings I can see. And I'm still wondering, because I could reflect to what Klauer was mentioning, that and Ed too, he did a few times already. I think it's really important to know where you want to go with this community, because if you share different visions, then whatever the tool, there will be like different approaches to it. And I think the tool would really go from the vision. And I was in tech, I'm in investment, so it's not just because I'm a woman, it's also because I've seen this in the project I dealt with, the IT project manager, for example, like really sharing what people want to do with this community. And what I do love with DAO is like empowering new decentralized community. What does it mean for us as spiritual people? Not just looking for tokens and how to make money out of it, at least not for myself, because I really want to go on listening, welcoming, sharing free advice, not doing this for token. I want to do it for people to grow. And I don't know if I'm wrong, because I'm still very new, but this is what I really love in that community. So maybe I spoke too much, but I really think decentralized communities will be an answer to this current collapse of authorities we see. And when everything will collapse, if we have structured ourselves, invented new ways of governance, sharing, but sharing more than power, it's about power. And there is power over where someone decides, and there is power from the inside. And I think we are trying to build that power from the inside. How do we make a community out of it when this world, this economic crisis, this energy crisis will arrive? We will be there, and we will have developed models to say, you see, this is not chaos. This is something new, and we have tried things out, and we want to build something new on sound grounds. At least this is how I feel. Sorry. So it's not.
No, Isabel, you were not long. Exactly. Yes, Absolutely. Very important. However, you know, if we have a non-tradable token, if we have just a token that exists among us, then that makes it easy to, you know, first not have people coming to just get value out of it.
I fully agree with that. It's just I hear two conversations, and I think it's like when you do an IT project, you start your slots, you have slots. So slot one is really about what people, where do you want to embark them with you? And then we go to technology, and I could hear the two conversations, people saying, no, not yet conversation, not yet tech, or no, I want vision. So you see, this is what I could hear. I'm going to go to Leaders in Silence meditation workshop, and I feel that's beautiful that it goes just after this discussion, because maybe they will also help us lead through this and give us answers. So thanks for having me.
Yes, no, thank you. This is some really good woman guidance and leadership right here. So thanks for your intervention. We need that. I need to go though. Alex, can you take over if you guys want to keep going a little bit? It's recording on YouTube. I don't think if I leave it will stop it. It might, I don't know. So please, by all means, thanks for joining everybody. And well, let's have more calls. And I really appreciate your help, especially the crypto Web3 experts, right? Max and some people left already. Anyway, Fabrice, David, the crypto experts, thank you for being here. We need you. Ciao, guys.
I'm going to dash too, but have a good one. If I could help anymore, feel free to ping me on Discord. Just to reiterate, the value I believe I can bring is having witnessed many people try and do what we're trying to do now in various different forms. So, and I've seen a lot of stuff fail. So hopefully I can share some of the experiences, and that's why I'm talking about governance. That's why I'm talking about ethics. That's why I'm talking about guardrails. That's why I'm talking about knowing where you're going before you set out. And I do very much resonate with what David said about execution. But if we don't know where we're going, how can we execute on that vision? So that's I'll leave that with you guys. Have a good one. Speak soon, hopefully. Bye.
Yeah, I'm happy to go another 10 or 15 minutes if anyone wants to participate or contribute or has some comments. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you, Clara.
Hi, this is Natalie. Even though I'm in tech, I won't be able to contribute for the tech streams. That's not my background, but I have experience in program management, and I'm happy to write, review, translate from English to French or the other way around. I'm happy to help coordinate, to follow up on action plans, because that can become quite quickly time consuming. So I have some time right now, and I'm happy to contribute with time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Natalie. Keep that in mind as we go forward.
Hey guys, just quick thought. I'm just going to leave in 2 minutes. I believe it could be nice that at the end of this call we have, some direction. So what to do, maybe a team, a task force to really construct something together. So I believe, I believe it was Alex just said, I think we need to get documents where everyone can put their ideas, where we can put all the vision, the inputs, the outputs that we want, where we see each other in 2 years. And then that could really help, I don't know, the tech guy or the people that want to help regarding blockchain choice, tool choice, and everything. So if we have the vision and everything and all the inputs, that could really help us find the right direction. And of course, I'm ready to help. I found it really interesting, and I guess there is many different things to help PAWA here. So that's cool.
Thank you, Max, and thank you for your expertise. Hopefully you'll be participating in setting this up.
Hope so. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers. Have a good day.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone else is on. I think let's just wrap it up here and see you all inside the community. Take care.